Alright guys, it's time to announce the winner of the Guitar Max Shred Contest. So guys, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that downloaded the backing track and submitted a video. I was really happy with the response to the contest in a few different ways. I think there were over 60 entries total, and also the other thing that was really cool to see is how supportive everybody was. You know, everybody who entered the contest, how supportive they were to the other people who'd entered. I saw a lot of people who had submitted an entry and then they were going around and checking out the other entries and then, you know, leaving positive comments and everything on the other entries. And that was really, really cool to see. You know, for somebody to take a video of themselves and put it on the internet where everybody can see it and then officially enter a contest like this, it takes a lot of courage to do that. And I was really happy with how many people had that courage, and also the support that they got from the other people. So overall, this was just hopefully a really positive experience for everybody. It was definitely a really positive experience for me. And I gotta say, with all of the entries and all of the high-level playing that were in these entries, it was really, really difficult for me to choose a winner out of all those people. So I'm gonna go through my top 5 in reverse order. You know, the last person I name is gonna be the winner. But before I do that, I'm gonna talk about a few sort of honorable mentions. There were a few people who were not technically eligible to win the competition because they were outside of the USA. And then there were also a few other people that I just kind of want to point out. They had really interesting takes on the contest and so forth. And also there was one guy who submitted a video, but it was a day late. It was a day, you know, I ran the contest for 2 weeks and it was like on the 15th day. So he was the only guy who did that. So just to be fair to everybody else, I excluded that video. Okay, so let's get down to business here. Now I've got my computer here and I've got all of the winning videos up here and we're going to check them out. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I liked about these entries that I chose as my top 5. But first, let's check out some honorable mentions here. So the first guy I want to mention is Shuei Matsumoto, and he's a Japanese guitarist, and so he's, you know, this contest was only open to people in the USA for reasons that I explained in the first video. But his entry was absolutely fantastic. So hopefully at some point in the future I can have a worldwide contest. But let's just go ahead and check this out because he came up with some really, really cool melodic lines that fit the track so well. So let's check this out here. All right, so I love that. That was great. It fit the track really nicely, great playing, really cool harmony part that it came up with, and a really nice blend of melodic parts and shredding. That was really good. So huge shout out to him. And even though he knew he wasn't going to be eligible to win the contest, he still submitted a video. Really cool. And guys, just generally, I really want to encourage everybody to just, you know, check out, you know, just go search for Guitar Max Shred Contest. Just check out all the different entries. It was really, really cool to see everybody's different styles and takes on it. Okay, now the next honorable mention goes to somebody's got a channel called Crash Course Comedy, and yeah, it's just kind of a whole new take on shredding. So let's check this out here. So I love the fact that he's doing this in a recording studio. That just makes it perfect. Okay, now the next honorable mention goes to a guy named Mark McKechnie. Now, this entry was not the most shredding sort of entry, but this guy had the best melodies and phrasing of any entry. And it's just he's got some really beautiful lines in here. I want you guys to listen to this stuff. All right, like I said, I love that phrasing and the melodic ideas in there. And he's rocking a Yamaha. You don't see that very often. Okay, so those were my honorable mentions. Now let's get into the top 5. Now, guys, to be totally honest, the top 5 was really, really difficult to nail down. I had about like 8 to 10 guys that I just went back and forth with, and it really, hours and hours and hours listening to this stuff, no joke. It really took me a long time. So I hope you're happy with the top 5. I'm happy with it, but there's a lot of guys in here who I think that the differences are just really, really small. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this. Number 5 is a guy named Mike Zimmerman, and he's rocking a Les Paul, really cool classic 80s tone. Let's check this out. All right, excellent. So I loved, his technique, his tapping licks and everything was really great. Some nice little like 3-string sweeps in there. But also I liked how he worked chords into his lead part. So it was a combination of a little bit of rhythm playing, some cool chords along with the blazing leads. I really liked that. All right, guys, now number 4 is a guy who, if this contest was based on energy, this guy would win it. I just really liked his overall solo. He's got so much energy, so much aggression, and he's got an amazing vibrato, and he's doing these first finger bends, which are really difficult to do. Anyway, let's go ahead and check this out. This is Jake Popowski. All right, how can you not love that? I mean, really great aggressive vibrato, which I love. Really good bending, and some really cool note choices in there. And of course, blazing alternate picking, which I'm an absolute sucker for. So 4th place goes to Jake Popowski. Okay, so now we're on to 3rd place here. Now this guy here, he had such a great combination of different techniques, and he did them all perfectly. That was the thing I think that stood out to me so much about this entry. There were a lot of guys who maybe were great at alternate picking or great at tapping. This guy used like every technique in the book, and he made it all work in this one solo. So 3rd place goes to Nick Rommel. Let's check this out. All right, so that was awesome. So yeah, like I said, so many different techniques in there, and he's clearly mastered all of them. That technique towards the end there, where it's a slide and then you tap the whammy bar, it's not something you see very often, and that's a technique that's kind of difficult to work into solo sometimes. That was awesome. So 3rd place, Nick Rommel. Okay, guys, now we're down to the last 2, and again, this was so difficult to to choose. But 2nd place goes to a guy that I think is kind of a crowd favorite in a lot of ways. And I was looking at some of the comments. A lot of people really enjoyed this solo, and it was one that was absolutely a standout to me. So 2nd place goes to Dakota Amaker, aka Shredley. Let's check this out. So my thing with that solo is, if you turned on the radio or you put on an album or something and you heard that track, that's the kind of solo that would realistically be on that track, right? I mean, it was a great combination of melodic. He had melodic and fast. He had some great shred lines, some great alternate picking in there. Really cool harmonics. He did that tapped harmonic trick and the muted sliding harmonics. I mean, so many cool techniques in there, but very melodic and very well arranged and well put together. And he made the whole thing look easy, which you guys know is not at all easy to do that. But killer job on that. So second place, Dakota Emaker. All right, guys, now we are down to number one, the overall winner of the shred contest. Now, the reason I chose this guy as the winner is he just, to me, it was just the total package, like overall solo. He had great technical ability, really fast, great note choice, really good timing, which some of the other contestants, I think that was an area that some people were kind of lacking in, because they'd be ahead or behind, or they'd not quite hitting right when they should. So this guy had really good timing. He had some interesting phrasing that I didn't hear in other solos. And again, just the overall performance was just really, really good. So number one overall winner, Richard James. Let's check this out. All right, guys, so that's my top five. Guys, I really hope you like my top five. It was really, really difficult for me to choose all that stuff because, like I said, there were so many good entries. And guys, something else I want to mention real quick. There were a lot of other people who were really, really good too, who also just didn't make the top five. Like there were I had 8 to 10, like I said, who I was trying to narrow down, and it was really, really difficult. In particular, there were a couple of guys who were obviously technically brilliant. A couple guys in particular who were really, really good, great, sweep techniques and stuff. My issue with those solos is I felt that they didn't fit the track as well as the guys that I ended up choosing for the top five. But again, in a way it's kind of unfair because this is all just up to me, like who I think is the best, and it's totally subjective. But anyway, that's my top five. But now, there's something kind of important that I need to talk about here, and that is that with all of the good vibes and everything and all the positive comments that I was seeing in the contest, I've just been watching all these videos and feeling really good, and I'm feeling really generous. So I'm going to increase the prizes. So Richard James, number one, he wins the prizes that I had announced earlier. So he wins the Wolf neck through S1, and also I've got these pedals here, the Fox Gear Ballad and the Joy of Vintage Overdrive. So Richard James, number one, he wins all those prizes. But I've got some more stuff, and so I'm going to give prizes to all of the top five guys. So for the second place guy, Dakota, he wins my Jackson Gus G. This is the JS32 Series 1. I did a video about this recently, comparing this to the older LTD model. Awesome guitar. This goes to the second place winner. And third place, Nick wins the Harley Benton Fusion T guitar. Awesome guitar. It's got a trim, humbuckers in a Tele style, really cool. And then fourth place, Jake Popowski wins the Joyo Bantamp. This is the Firebrand version. It kind of sounds like an Engel. 20-watt head, Bluetooth, really cool. And then fifth place, Mike Zimmerman. I've got this really nice, high-quality Fox Gear chorus pedal, and that goes to the fifth place. So top five, everybody gets prizes. All right, guys. So there we go. Overall, guys, I'm really happy with how this came out. Like I said, I hope you guys like the top 5. You know, if anybody really disagrees with me, let me know. You know, we can talk about it in the comments section below. But again, there were so many good entries. And yeah, this went really well, and so I'm definitely going to be doing this again. But guys, if there's anybody out there who you submitted a solo and you want to try again, anybody who competed this time is welcome to compete again, with the exception of Richard James, the overall winner. I think he should probably sit out the next contest. And I don't know when the next contest will be. I'll announce that at some point in the future. And also, there was one guy in particular I really want to encourage to enter again whenever I do the next contest, because his recording was really muffled and really bad, and so it was really a struggle for me to hear what he was playing, but I could tell just by watching his fingers and stuff that he was really, really good, and I think he might have placed really, really high if I could hear what he was playing better. So anyway, I think that guy knows who he is. Anyway, that's it, guys. But yeah, again, let's talk in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell, thumbs up, all the good stuff, and I'll see you soon.